Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching the world. My name is Sean Driver. This is the Red Horde, and we are back for the Adran Trophy. Yes, Swirly's got it right, not the Adran Cup. I can't remember where I put it. As you can see above, we've got new toys, and something's not right. And so let me see what we've got going on here. Early in the morning, I didn't get to check all things. What's interesting about this one and why it took so long is Briton Ferry actually replaced 8 of their 11, and they're starting a whole bunch of under 19s for this game. So they're not names not even in the program, the digital program that went out. If they're on trophy, Mia's all scrambled on her mic, but got cleared up there relatively quick. That squelched like mad out of my ears. So hi W&G, I added extra toys, and now they're not working. I know why. There, that's the new toys. Got an out-of-town scoreboard. We'll see how that goes over today as we follow the games. What's interesting about this one, 2 things, as I'm about to cough. 2 things, 8 out of 11 new, as I said, for Briton Ferry. The other and secondary thing that's interesting about this one is we were postponed twice in this competition. I guess scheduled once late and then postponed in the other one. And so, hey, RK, oh, good morning. Yes, it is an early one. That's for bloody sure. W&G, if you're going to test it out, go ahead, test it out. The one thing to watch for is just to get the spacing right. I had to do a bunch of dashes, and so all you get is the 2 letters to start, i.e. New Saints is NS, Cardiff Met CM. And so you should be able to jump in there and test it out. The next goal, I got to fix up those rosters to try and make that a little bit cleaner. And the other thing is I want to be able to do a source switch so that when W&G, when you're doing this, those will actually rotate through all 12 games or whatever we end up wanting to cover. So, yes, always 2 p.m. your time, just the same time as the games. No, it's not. It's 1 hour earlier. The Academy played yesterday, 0-0 draw to Salford City's Academy team. And so we're waiting on the reserves. They've got a game coming up, and I can't remember when. I'll have to look that up and get that out there. But we don't get to watch those, and that'd be something that I would really like to do, is be able to watch them. So it's going to be a bit of a mad scramble, I think, when they come up with the roster and the numbers here, because I went to the digital program. If you don't have that, go to at Wrexham AFC Women is the Twitter account, and that should work for that. But I opened it up and still didn't have the I gotta get a piece of paper. Still didn't have the numbers of all the players because they went so new and so young. So this one could be interesting, looking a lot like Burton Albion versus the Wrexham men, where one team started a bunch of their younger players and less experienced players, not their top. And I would suggest that Briton Ferry's lineup for the Welsh Cup was their top compared to this lineup, less than what was anticipated for the Adran Trophy. And I don't know why I called it the Adran Cup, and I thought it was because Wiki said that, but then I found Wiki today, and it said the Adran Trophy. So, howdy, John. Good morning. Welcome. Trying to set everything up here. All new bells and whistles. The flop counter. Oh, and I never reset his flop counter, and I don't know if Brendan's going to be here. So I got so much going on early in the morning as it took a little bit longer than I would have liked to have gotten ready in the AM. That's for sure. And we already know that the in the Adran Trophy round, we're destined to face Cardiff City. They've already had the draw. And I'm just going to go through the scores. The round of 16 had one team from the Adran Premier League play one team that qualified. In all of those instances, the Premier League's team won, except for Pontypridd, who lost in penalties 6-5 to Swansea University. So it's going to be Swansea University moving on. They drew Cardiff Met. So Cardiff, Swansea University drew the New Saints. Swansea City with Cardiff met, and then the winner of this one gets Cardiff City. Well, in the other one, you've got Aberystwyth that's going to get the winner of either Barrytown or is it Fellinelli? I may get the pronunciation wrong there. John, it's not actually there this time for all their U19 players. They have like 6 U19 players, and so I can bring it up here just for reference. Making a mess of things this morning with the new setup that got bounced around, so you might have to bear with me as I move things around, but got lots of improvements and changes coming, and hopefully some source scrolling, which will allow for some new things. W&G, you'll have to let me know whether you were able to upgrade everything. And the other fascinating thing, I thought with Mia doing it last week, that it may have been an injury concern or whatever. You can access it. Good. I'm going to reset the flop counter just in case, and I'll take control of that just in case Brendan's not able to attend. But it sounds like from a post that Mia's dad made on Twitter that this may be a form of a career shift or a coverage shift or something to do as a hobby to get some experience and some training, whether that's because she intends to come back or just has a gap. But I thought she was impressive last week, so I think that's exceptional, and I hear her, and just having the insight is advantageous. So there you go. Now the only place, W&G, that I was able to get those those scores was actually from Twitter. And so all of those games up above in the out-of-town scoreboard are regular league games. So we will end up with a game in hand, and we will see what happens. So largely we're cheering for Barrytown and Aberystwyth today. And so here's their numbers. Oh, and they went with two cat white. Strang is 10. Haitley is 19. And that should get the numbers, the substitutes. I'll just have to wait for them to come through and write really, really quickly. Brilliant excuse, Christmas party. And so that's why you get the U19s, is because they weren't into it. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I think we will stay top 4, but I would like to be able to take a run at that top prize, because the closer you get to it, the chance of getting Wrexham into European competition would be amazing, and maybe a little bit crazy, a little bit bonkers. So it could be a blowout. Maybe the young legs out cutting their path. They got no fear. Oh, it's just one substitute? Is that what I read there? Only one substitute, number 5, Hancock. All right, give me a moment. I'm going to take this and draw in some extra numbers as we await the start of this one. One sub's quite rough, she says. Yeah, I can only imagine. All right, this will take a couple of seconds to put together, so don't mind me as I stare off screen. Having to bring the young lasses because the experienced lot celebrated Christmas. Greenaway, number 3. And then all yellow again. We won't have to broadcast too much this way. This one is obviously, I think everybody's got this one. And I don't know, I've never checked this. Are the games free only if you have an iFollow subscription, or are they free in any event? Because I don't know the answer to that question. Of course, I want to see Cardiff and Swansea's teams face, whether that be in a cup competition, whether that be because we're in the championship. That's the goal, right? Is going after the big players. I mean, I have a bit of a soft spot for Swansea and for more for Cardiff. And I know this is going to sound dirty by saying it, but they've had a lot of Canadians in the past on those rosters, and so I appreciate that. 5 Hancock. And so whenever there's a club that brings in lots of Canadian talent, I got to have a little bit of extra appreciation. And it just seems like historically, a lot of them get their first crack there. So, all right. I believe I've got that set up now. Just got to download it and get it up onto the site. And away we go. This should be an interesting one. When you start this much changeover and it's a day after Christmas, the definition of amateur football, I suppose. And so let's change the opposition lineup here. Properties. There we go. And I got to get to my scoreboard here in a hurry. How fast can I go in the morning? Would have liked to have gotten this all started a little bit earlier in the day, but it is what it is. All right. And we're good. Whew. Ready to go as we await the start of this one. The girls look happy as Rosie goes dancing down the pitch. Skipped frames due to encoding lagging. I'm apparently the new system may be walking the line a little bit as to what we're able to do. You guys will have to let me know if you notice any issues with the quality. I'm going to start to close down some things on my end. Oh, no build, no length of time, no build up, 11 seconds. So I'm pretty close now to where we're at as we get started. For those of you who may not be watching, I think most of you probably are. Wrexham ladies going from right to left at the Rock, towards the quarry in the bottom left corner where the women are going. The Briton Ferry women are going from left to right, and the same yellow and black jerseys. As we're going to get a corner here. Anyone you don't have to have a paying account. Perfect, John. That's exactly what I was looking for and what I heard, but I heard somebody else say I don't have a men's subscription, so I can't watch. And I went, I don't know if you needed, I didn't think you needed that. So I may go back and tell them to start. Corner in, headed away. We're going to get it back to second in a row. We are. Corner in, headed up in the air, dangerous. Ooh, just on top. It wasn't the most confident of plays there, was it? Okay, we will get all this set up eventually. Corner from the right-hand side. We'll just keep taking turns and we'll do our set piece practice against Briton Ferry for this one. Is it? No. Did I lose a bunch of subscribers overnight? Because I was at 1045. Yep, wrong one. Not getting things to work as well as I'd want. The chat overlay saying that it has a problem this morning. I did this before, and I don't know why. We'll bring that in. So, Rosie, down the left side. Ooh, that was an awkward flip there. Did everybody else see that one on the challenge coming back? Perfect, John. A few scores already. Cardiff Met up ahead. Swansea. Whoa. That did not take any time at all. 2-0. Interesting. It may end up being one of those ones where we just come in waves until we figure it out and crack through, and then it's going to be one of those ones. Yeah, I was surprised that there was some rivalry with Newport, although it might just be Newport fans following that along on Twitter. I think you get two camps with Newport the next game that the men have. Some that are absolutely looking forward to just having two Welsh teams play each other again. Excuse me. And some others who just have absolutely no time for the Hollywood club that is Wrexham AFC, they say. Set piece. Ooh, a balk. Played into the corner. Well done. I thought she was going to leave that one in behind, but takes it into the corner of the right side. Cross coming across, skips and deflected. Another corner. No, going to be a turnover. So 550, you guys will have to let me know. Do you like the out of town scoreboard up top with the new design? Do you like the flop counters? Things are going to start moving a little bit. Oh, and I've got double the graphics, so let me get rid of one of those. As we can transition that out of there. Takes a lot of time to set things up in OBS, at least when you're old and you're new, but a long throw in here as we get going and I get comfortable. The in-game chat not seeming to work this morning. I'm not 100% certain I know what the issues are. Thanks, Brendan. I will change your 0 to black or figure something out there. I forgot that it was a gray color that I had to bring from the source. So I don't know what I will do, but I will do something. No silliness, I think, from changing the goalkeepers in this one, but so far things have looked good for Wrexham, clearly in control. No threats the other way as Dell sits back and gets a first touch. I think that's their first touch of the ball right there. Just flipped around the other way. Just different level, right? Different level. But I guess when you're playing 19-year-olds, different pace again here. Rosie gets up there, has Davies in support. Davis, nope, gonna try to cross it right into the center. Davis, ooh, right off the noggin, but well done and well charged down. Will have to be a halftime chat. I don't know why that conked out because I didn't. That's the one thing I didn't change. But there always seems to be something that grabs. The gremlins reach out and grab you. I used to wonder with TV producers how they ended up screwing up all the time, and now I see it's not so easy. I wish I knew all of the players, but that seems to be Ridings coming forward. She's one of the three. So the three that played last week. If you're interested while watching, let me grab those names for you. Were Ridings, Powell, and Baker. So 6, 8, and 12. 8 up front, you can see there. 12, actually, I recall 12 looking solid on that near side. As it's played down, given away too much in that first touch, crossed over, flipped up, and it's going to be another corner. Right idea from the defender from Briton Ferry. They're just too heavy on the touch. $19. Don't even have 19 listed up there. So this is going to be a battle the entirety of the game. Free kick from right in front. And I am excited. I have reasons. I won't say what they are, but I know that there's somebody who has a Dairy Queen frozen ice cream cake that has the Wrexham badge on it and says "Happy Birthday" up the town on it. And I'm excited to demonstrate the pictures for that bad boy when I get to have a look at it. An edible badge. I don't know if that's improper. Eating the badge of Wrexham, is that some sort of crazy superstition? Well taken, well struck. Just didn't curl down, went right over top of the wall, out of play. Good for the convert and the extra point. Oh, it was coming down just a little bit too late on the top spin. I love that. They just said, stuff it. We started the Christmas party. We'll find a team and a bunch of girls to get out there, but we've got priorities, and that's a couple of drinks. 1-1, the new Saints come back. Do they W&G? You'd expect like New Saints Cardiff Met's a pretty even match to me. If I recall correctly, you've got the youth of Cardiff Met, the speed of New Saints. I think it was New Saints that was the fastest team that we've seen. They did have a lot of wheels. Aberystwyth and especially Barrytown, I don't know if they're going to be able to hold with them, but they're there. Oh, that was a beautiful corner, just not able to finish. And I will say, not that anybody's going to notice, but those colors are direct matches to the badge colors, taken directly from it. Like there was actually a little bit of thought put into these things, and I'm hoping that those bars then stick for the rest of the year. And once they're made, they can scroll through. And we got ourselves a little system, and I may see if I can find an easier way for W&G to input his scores. But for now, we take in possession, and time in the other team's half has to be up through the roof on this one. Pritchard. That was well done. And we've got 3 different Joneses, but Lily's not one of them that's playing today. So that was Takara, who I believe is over on the right, because Ruby's on the bench. Yes, 12. 12 for everybody else in the world. Actually, I think there's one other country that uses Fahrenheit other than the U.S. I just can't recall what it is, who it is off top of head, top of mind. Concurrent viewers bumping up a little bit. Feel free to hit the like button if you haven't had the chance. It's always moves things. Taking a look at the stands there, I find it bonkers, and I don't know if other North Americans do, and maybe it's true. And there's the it is a cup game. The league games have been better supported, but like I'm out at this. It's like a quit a game to go to the pitch and watch some football, support the club. I would love to be able to watch the reserves. Nice. Rosie with a dance. Takes out 2. Gets it in front. Mackenzie can't close on it. It's going to go the other way, and we're going to end up with a throw. Like, I would love to watch, even if it was just with an AI camera that just followed the ball, to watch the reserves and the academy on Tuesdays. Tuesday mornings would be tough, to be fair. But Saturday mornings before the men's match to have a little bit of U18 action, I think it would be fun. Somebody said with the U18 team questions about whether you televise, and I was like, fair enough, but we televise the WHL which is hockey, the CHL, Ontario, Quebec. Once a week, a team gets covered, so I don't know whether they'd be adverse to that or not, but put out the AI. Yeah, I think there's one other small country, but the only ones in the world with Fahrenheit as the leading measure. And to be fair, though, Canada's twisted. It's we use imperial for some things and not for others, and it depends on what it is. There's a whole chart. Like, are you talking about height? Then we use imperial. For everything else, you use metric. Cooking is all in imperial, but everything else is metric. We're confused, and our confusion is different than the British, who are still on miles, even though they use everything else, and are more likely to use metric, if not for the bloody stone thing. Gibbons with it. Lots of control, lots of possession, just sort of taking our shots, but Briton Ferry holding on. Another event that happened last night, or yesterday, I guess. Oh, man, Hughes is quick. Did she get there? Oh. Give a tour. Twitter Spaces was created last night, and I jumped on one of the Twitter Spaces and had a chat, and then they had connection issues. Cryptic from Australia, I don't know if you guys follow along. Cryptic jumped on top of it as well. So Cryptic and I were having a chat and sort of ended up taking over as the connection issues kind of waxed and waned, and then we could hear him and couldn't hear him. So anyway, he may end up joining for a podcast or doing something together. Took a crack center of the pitch, didn't make, far to the left. Briton Ferry turns around with possession. Yeah, I don't get the stones thing. It's not an easy multiplier either, right? So you're constantly in your head being like, to convert it. How many 16s are in 5? I don't know. In 3? 10 stone. 15 stone. Another touch for Dell as the ball comes back around over the right side. That wasn't a good kick, and here comes Briton Ferry with maybe a little bit of a chance, but easily taken away there by Dickens, who made the mistake and saved herself from the mistake, and so you can't make any complaints about that. Briton Ferry, turn it around again. That's the defender who got it away up, and she's had a bad first touch. She's had a bad pass. Yeah, it's an odd one. Is it 6.35? I thought it was more than that. I gave up. Even the Fahrenheit to Celsius conversions, 5/8 divided by 2, whatever, 5/8 minus 32. Nice little interplay there. That's Baker with it over on the right-hand side and bounces it off. Is that 16 sharp? Kilos would make sense. 1 stone equals 6.35. I thought it was 12, but that wouldn't even add up. I don't know. Couple throw-ins here into our zone. The first set of and they just don't look like they're able to connect or even have the, it seems reactive football, not proactive football, where they have it and they're just trying to find something, kicking it about. Kim, how are you getting those updates? Well done in the defense, getting back there and clearing that one out. 14, I was wrong. Barry started with an own goal and then a goal where they stopped running because they thought it was offside. So is that from Twitter, Kim? Because I'd be shocked if there was highlights or anything else like that going out there. That'd be fascinating if there was, and I'd be giving all sorts of compliments to either Barrytown or to Swansea for being able to get those out quickly. That's the type of service that the fans want. Spies at the game. Love it. It's just one of those games you look at the difference in control and ability, and that's a bad touch there. Davis with too much power. The long throw in from Briton Ferry here as they get into it. I've had a couple of people who through YouTube, and maybe they're watching today, I don't know, or Facebook, who send messages to me to say, how do I end up watching this match or that match? And I'm somewhat surprised by it. And if you were the club, I think you'd have stuff on Instagram and Twitter that would come out frequently as to how to register and better instructions than there are that are out there. Hold some people's hands through the process. Because there's been a couple who have needed their hands held. They're not the most experienced with computers, but still interested in following both the men and the women. Are you guys listening to the good thing? Mark's got multiple parties on a cruise in Turkey watching the game. That's amazing. Offside flag went up. I think that was speed that ended up confusing the person with the flag who thought that they needed to pull this back. Let's have a look at this. Tough, impossible for us to tell. Impossible for me to tell. Long ball over. And I'm fascinated to see the rest of the story with Mia, because I think she does a remarkable job with the color stuff. I'd like to see her maybe take over, do a little bit of the actual in-game commentary. Harder than I thought it was doing the in-thing. Sharp with it. Rosie passing it forward down the right-hand side. Just nice touch, and then too much power, and it's going to roll for a goal kick. Not that sharp and fierce. Right around the edge. As soon as we get close. The other thing I haven't checked on, I didn't watch, putting the microphone down on the table where it's secure, is it less twangy and bangy than it was on the arm that I had that was stuck out? Because I could continue to hear this sound, and I didn't like that. So I've swapped it out. So let me know what your guys, if you've noticed one way or the other. That's all good. And I was looking for the Prem games. I was thinking of maybe adding them, but I thought I don't trust myself late at night to start the screen rotators and then put the Premier League games. But I know that there were 3 of them that were on today. So there's just 2 things that have always worked that are not working, as I have more than 1,040 subscribers. So I find it fascinating that hasn't updated. And I've got... my chat's not working. My in-body chat. Everything works until the very last step, and then it locks up. So it could just be a gremlin for the day and something that I can't change. So slow start, John, but I mean, they've had control. They've had the balance of play. The touch around the goal has been a little suspect. Smitham, that's a great name. Sounds like a bad person, like in a Harry Potter movie. House of Slytherin type stuff. And another giveaway. I don't recall this many giveaways as either. As Mackenzie, who drew into the lineup because Lily Jones isn't playing, gave that one away. And I was really impressed with Lily Jones. I'm going to leave this chat up over there. I've been told, and I've been given information from the OBS guru as to how to improve its design. I just wanted to get this structure all set up first. and most notably the roster, which isn't done yet. But I want to get that done because then I can start to use some tools that will create some unique things, like putting the scores up automatically as scores and substitutions and details, so that we can all follow along a little bit easier, and all automated. So it's going to take a while to set up. Like, to do that is, I mean, I might finish it by the end of the season. But the idea is then the graphics just change and there's upgrades, but it's basically set up. And with those controls, he's told me that you can basically, oh, that was a nice ball up over to the right-hand side at the edge of the corner, crossed all the way in right there, cleared away, up in the air, coming down, headed in. Somebody. Nothing. Long shot. Oh. That would have been mad. Not afraid to have a crack from distance. Definitely had the thump. Just missed. That would have been the goal of the year, wouldn't it have been? Whew. Didn't miss by much. But they basically got a remote control on the phones, and so if whoever I wanted to, I can give sort of control for people to manipulate and scroll things through, or add certain special effects, or trigger an event from happening. And so the goal is to get to that. Just have to deal with the fact that I'm middle-aged. And maybe not as quick as I'd like to be with setting everything up. It was a good little run up from Pritchard. Now, the other thing is I've got to look at how to get you that membership, Brendan. Because that should just be something that stands in perpetuity for all the help that you've given. The problem is every time I look at it, it seems like it's a random handout. I don't want to just be throwing them out. I want to target. Kim, I liked Suckley in the one game, was it like 3 games ago? And then I saw another one and I was like, she just wasn't on. And so I'm a little bit torn on Suckley as to where she fits in. It's there in the box with an opportunity, kicked, deflected, and we'll go and do another corner. Is that Allen who was rolling around? Every time I see one of the ladies reaching for their knees, I'm like, this whole pitch thing has to be rectified. Get the academy started, put some natural grass on it, and stop it with the joint pain. Header just missed. We've been sniffing around. Yeah, it could definitely be Kim. I'd have to look up that U19 keeper again, too, because next season I'd let Boland go for a walk. I mean, we only saw Boland in that one game, the Swansea game, where Adele got injured. Is it flipped over? Just missing again. It's like red stormtroopers, because Rosie's usually money with those flips and chips, and that was a good 7-8 feet to the left. Long ball down, headed over. Davis not able to control it and settle it down, so she'll move out. Lightfoot will come and guard the throw. Rosie over having a look. Davis, no. And didn't somebody say that the actual rock was wider? They measured it off. They were just talking about the pitch dimensions, and I recall somebody saying it because it certainly looks like it. That the rock pitch was actually wider. And it's down McKenzie, not able to get there, but in the mix, deflected out. Lightfoot going to grab that and go for a quick one. She does. Oh, whistle down. 2-0. They do that, don't they? Cardiff City play a little possum, and then they decide to have a run at it. And really, I think it's Swansea, Cardiff City, us in that top three. So it's looking for a couple of upsets, or for us in the second half of the season to find our legs against them in the final round once we get through the next 8 games here, 7 games. Because halfway through the first half of the season, they'll play 7 more, and then they'll swap into the top 4 and bottom 4. It is the widest. Okay, so I wasn't just imagining things. It does look like you got to run a 100-meter dash here. Dickens, Pritchard, 15. Sharp. I should know that one. Sharp normally plays up more than this. If I thought, was that just in one particular game? But it wasn't who I was expecting to be in the back line, and maybe that's just me. And a little bit green. It's always that last touch, like right when they get to the opportunity to make the pass into the scoring position, it's just 1 foot off one way, 2 feet off the other way, and we just sit here and still continue to look. Well done, except see a nice little touch, a little overlay, trying to get the ball in, just not able to do it. Dickens forward, another turnover. Okay, settle it down. Not going to get an opportunity. It's going to end up on the Briton Ferry foot, and away it goes the other way. Sharp, long ball. Yeah, blowing it down. The young guy withholding the flag there with a pretty good flow. We would call that some epic hockey here right there. Cardiff has the size, the skill, and the size. Swansea, less skill, but size. And I think when you say Cardiff City, also some pace. They were not as fast as New Saints, I don't think, but they did have a different gear compared to us. Right in, knocked down, have a crack. No, plays it over. Well done. Gibbard gets it in. Hughes flipped. Goalie has it secured. Close, but no cigar. Just control all the way through. Davis throws it in, gets it down to Sharp. Sharp looking to spin. That wasn't Sharp that initially had it. That was Gibbard. The switch to the right side. Nice little flick on. Jones able to get up there. Initially, yes, and then touched out. So we'll steal a throw. We'll take it. Dickens. Hughes. Over on the right side, not looking for cross. Wow, Dickens, Dancer. I would have run that in a little bit further before taking that pass in, but Lightfoot, sorry. And still on the prowl. Lightfoot not giving up on that one. Pitbull on the ball. Holy. Wanted to have an opportunity. Had it taken away, and Gibbard's got it. Moves it over. Yeah, that is a thing. Mia talking about the frustration settling in. Be interesting to see how that plays out. Just takes one Evans-like play, which I still haven't seen an explanation for or any knowledge as to, like, was that just was he having just a bad day yesterday when he took that one on? Played back. Davis, Dickens, Allen, gonna move it on up. Long run. Allen saying, you know what? I'll show you guys how this happens. I'm a midfielder. I'm gonna run this all the way up to Hughes and take my assist. Lightfoot curls it back over. Heavy first touch. And Rosie's sitting on the pitch. Is she okay? Rosie's not one to flop. We know that much, right? Having a laugh. That's the definition of being masochistic, when you're in pain and you're laughing and smiling while you're in pain. It'll be 3. He's out 3. If it would have... double yellow to the red just would have been 1, but when you end up getting it to us as a result of a straight red, it's 3. McKenzie, Hughes, Lightfoot able to get up there. No, but Lightfoot is... But you saw the frustration there, didn't you? Lightfoot jumping up and getting frustrated, but that was... She decided, I'm going to boss it. So, yeah, I don't know if he had somewhere to be. Decided, I'm going to get a little aggressive here. Davis, Lightfoot, left-hand side. Lightfoot gives it away. Smack in the hands there as she's getting feisty. Handball. Hughes is really struggling there with that left foot. She was smiling before when she got up, and then she went down and had a bit of a moment. She's still having a moment where she's... So I guess Suckling going to get their chance. I guess not the way that we wanted to end up seeing her come in. Anybody want to blame Kim? You don't have to take ownership for it, Kim. I wish we could say that we had that level of control. You could also send a condolences card and apologize for your actions if you needed to the club. I can get that address for you. Mr. Miyagi hands, no kidding. Here's two questions for you. We didn't hit capacity yesterday. I believe that's because Colchester only threw out 667 fans out of their allocation, so I assume that that's right. But another question for me is when I look at the Yale end, so that's the end opposite of, or no, it's not the Yale end. I think it was the Macron end. Just 1 second. No, it's the Yale end. When you're watching the stadium and you're looking from the Macron end to the Yale end on the Cop side, or not the Cop side, Jesus, the Tech end. Down at the front, they have 3 areas that are tarped off. And they've been tarped off for a while. And I'm wondering, why aren't we selling those? I'm sure that they're available. And I thought it's at some point in time, they might have been away allocation that were unused. But I haven't been able to figure it out if that's the issue or not. They'll just have the red Wrexham badge that's over top of it. So Davis is there. Yeah, it sounds like Hughes is coming off. I'm hoping that's just a knock and a short-term pain thing for Hughes. I mean, she will get some time to recover. I did go to the Adran Wiki page. The next round in this competition, should we advance, is January 7th. And then we're back into games on the 14th. And we have the game with Pontypridd to make up because we postponed it to be able to play these two back-to-back. So still got some busy days ahead for the women. So there's Kim's girl. Don't ever say that you want to see a striker in place of Mullen or somebody. Still 2-0, eh? At the half. Thank you, W&G. Well, a 0-0 game coming up into extra time. What are we going to get? 3 minutes, maybe 4? We've had a head check and we've had Rosie's incidents. 4. So we're going to need somebody else to answer the bell and find the back of the net here. Well done. Ball at feet. Dickens dancing. Got it in. What good pass forward. This is the same girl that was been dangerous. Oh, no, it's not. That was 12, but her and one of the defenders just, they've been too heavy at almost every one. There's the girl that I just said was too heavy who just flipped it up in the air. On target, working hard, but just not able to settle it down and make the good pass. So yeah, the Barry Town one, that's going to have to change. I didn't get a chance to change it when I read not on the website because obviously we haven't claimed it. But if we do win this one, that game, their next game will be January 7th against Cardiff City in this competition. Allen all the way over. Davis back to Allen. Going to do the switch to the right-hand side. Pritchard. Jones made it around long. That's a good ball, just not far enough. or too far, depending on where she wanted to go. Yeah, all the women's matches are kick off an hour earlier than the men's. So even when the springtime, we'll have that gap again when they do spring forward, where the time difference will change a little bit for a couple of weeks. I think it is in the spring. There has been zero excitement in this one. It's been hard to get. We haven't had any really threats, any threats in the final third the entire time. We've had possession domination. We've had good pass accuracy. We get the ball down the pitch fine. And then as soon as we get to the final third, and I wouldn't say that Briton Ferry's parking the bus, but it's just, we just haven't closed in, which makes me nervous when you take Rosie out, who is sort of the creator and can scramble and pick up junk ball. And now we're going to be looking for Suckley to do that. Yeah, there have been shots on goal. I don't think there's been a shot on target. Yeah, I don't think there has been a shot on target. The closest one was the long shot that came and we've had 3 or 4 loop over top. We've had a lot of blocked. Yeah, Stephen, we did play them last week. Last weekend was in the FAW Welsh Cup. This is in the Adran Trophy. So it just so happens that we drew the same team twice in the same round. Well, I guess not the same round of the competition. This is the first round proper of the Adran Trophy. That was the quarterfinals of the FAW Cup. Waiting for the whistle and the potential of going to the half. We get a chance to reset ourselves. Paint off the walls. Do you think that's going to be a thing? Paint off the walls? Whoops. Not much to record. Take those off for a little bit and just kind of get into it. So I haven't heard anybody. I moved the microphone down to a stand instead of hanging over top of the arm like this thing. And I was done with the arm because every time I would move, it would make like a tinging sound and I couldn't stand it. So you guys will have to let me know, although I'm going to make a bang as I set it down, whether you've noticed it a little bit quieter, because I was quite annoyed with it before. So I'm hoping that there's no accidental bumps that are happening as I'm moving through and it's not insufferable. So yeah, let me know that one. The other thing that I've got to figure out, and if you guys have any ideas, I'm going to have to rotate and I'm going to point at it and then it's going to say it's not that side on the YouTube. I should double check which side that is. Just 1 second. Yeah, it's flipped around, isn't it? So you'll have to let me know whether you want that on a graphic and you think that's best, or whether I just put the text somehow similar to something up above. At the end of the day, once I'm able to get this all set up in the new location, I plan to have the camera almost full width and then have all of these graphics sort of sitting above. But I just can't set it up. So sounds fine to John. That's good to know. It's akin to the FA Cup and the EFL Trophy, and that's the perfect analysis. Swirly, yep. I would say that to me, I don't know this for sure, but I just assumed that the Welsh Cup was preferred over the EFL Trophy or the EFL Cup, or here the Adran Trophy. Yeah, Brendan, I thought so too, except when I recorded, and maybe it was just on the videos that I was doing, like the Who Are You series, I kept hearing twangs and bangs and bumps and things in the background and was like, I can't do this. So I could rearrange the arm and then hang it, but I was like, that'll still get the same twanging problem, because I think it was every time I hit the desk or every time I moved, even if it was my feet on the floor, it rocketed and made a big crashing sound, and I wasn't a fan. So I'll have to figure that out. Slowly trying to improve on things. It's not everything working. We've had it, it's interesting. The women's matches, we get anywhere from 15 to 33. We've had 72 people stop in, and most 12 minutes and 38 seconds. Most stay for a while. Yesterday, I had a lot of concurrent viewers, but I didn't have as many views as I normally get. So that was fascinating to me. It was at least average as far as my concurrent viewers, but my views was one of my lowest lives I've had since the season has started. So, and I kind of anticipated that. I had 2 lives where I went on. One was during the rain delay, and then the women's match after. Lower numbers, and it tends to tell the analytics, the algorithm, maybe this guy isn't liked so much. So built up, had a little bit of a lull. We build up again, and we have fun doing it. So, did it finally work? No. As soon as you go to the thing to copy it, it craps out. I thought I could get the chat to work. Didn't want to work. Yeah, RKO, taking the time. I mean, I don't think to the point of time wasting, but I do take your point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump out just for a second. 2 minutes, not even, and we'll be right back. So I'm not even going to, do I turn off the away? Sure, why not? Once I do that, I'll be right. I do like the Ask Wrexham feature that they run. If you guys haven't been on Twitter or X very frequently, there's the ability to send those tweets out to get Mark to answer them directly. I've always appreciated them. The other option is to keep an eye out for like Fearless in Devotion is one of them, but there's a number of users that, including Baz Thomas, who I was talking to yesterday, who run Twitter Spaces where you can just follow along and listen to people who some of them are in the know and some of them are not, who talk Wrexham all the time. It's good. Looking at the table yesterday, maybe my mistake, but did Barrow just sort of come out of nowhere. I still don't know what to take. Obviously, defensive stalwarts, but you look at their season, they haven't been bad all the way through. I mean, they lost to Stockport 1-0 in week 4. Fair enough. They drew Accrington Stanley. They drew against us 1-1. They drew against Newport County. And then you start to think, well, if that's the case and you're only eking out 1-goal games here, lost to Mansfield, lost to Grimsby, but then they've been on a run of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins in a row and 6 of those, or I guess 6 wins in a row, in the league. They beat Northampton in the first round proper, the FA Cup, and then lost to Maidstone United in the second. And then 4 draws before that are, well, they have been beating all the bad teams. And I guess how have they done? They drew Notts, they lost to Mansfield, they lost to Stockport, they drew us. Crew is next weekend for them, so that'll be an interesting one. But just sort of snuck up. Yeah, Crew, Stockport, Accrington, Wrexham, and then they get to have their easier run again. It'll be interesting because I know we drew them, but I just wasn't that impressed. Yeah, except they've done more than that. I mean, the way I look at it, and I've said this before, is I've had this pegged as a 6-horse race now for about a month and a half. And now the question for me is Notts falling off the pace such that it becomes a 5-horse race? Yet to be determined. I think that Stockport game will be informative. Yeah, 15 goals against. Is that what I recall? 18. No, 16. 16 goals against, best in the league, but only 30 goals, which isn't quite the worst, but I think it's middle of the table. But yeah, it's fascinating to me. Just completely missed them sneaking into this and being part of the equation. Is you look at, like, I thought Crew might have fallen off, and it's expected either Gillingham to hold on or the Dons to hold on or Bradford City to come back up. So Crew's been a surprise for me, but Mansfield, Wrexham, Stockport, those were 3 I had pegged for sure. I'm more worried about being first by the end of the season, or just have that game on what is it, April 27th? Is that the last game? Have that one mean something. That's what I'd be all for. Yeah, April 27th, Stockport in Rex, or yeah, it's not Stockport. Yeah, it is Stockport. Stockport in Wrexham. Yeah, Mansfield went through some injury stuff. Stockport's been decimated, though. I mean, they've had 7 guys. Is that what it is that were out in the last little bit here and had to start a whole bunch of young people as the girls are making their way back onto the pitch here? Oh, I better shut things down. I'm glitching. Hold on. Sorry, started watching the video and forgot that it's going to bog up my computer. Yeah, John, absolutely. I'll take top 3, but when you're sniffing around, set the bar high. 88 points is the goal, and I think with that draw We need to take 3 points to be halfway through the season and just on pace for 88. And 88 guarantees you promotion if you're able to get to it, at least in the 20-year history of promotions involving League Two teams to League One. 88 is, and half the time, it ends up being enough to win the championship, like to win it, to become the champions. So looking to try to get to 88. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you, Kim. It's been fascinating to watch a team that has that much offensive pop that just can't seem to get it done and get it. Their center backs are just atrocious. I expected, to be fair, more of that or worse of that from Colchester, but I thought Colchester did a remarkable job considering how bad their defensive stats were. They were worse than Notts as individual players, but they held in. All right, come on, girls. Let's carry on with this. Move forward. Get a couple in, secure it. Just one. Open the dam. Bust open the dam. There's just no. It's very much a intramural university soccer / football match, isn't it? That's the sense I get. Got to get a little fire. So if you aren't watching and you're just listening to this, and it is available on iFollow, and you just have to register to be able to watch. Briton Ferry going to go from right to left, the women from left to right, and away we go. Get it started, blow the whistle, and there we go. I do love how quick the new scoreboard is at reacting. Okay, come on, get into it. Get some subs in here maybe at some point in time. Do we have anybody else off the bench that can make a difference? So Cara Jones gets it. It's just that final third of thing proving to be our curse. It'd have to be something fortuitous. I just don't see Briton Ferry back heel. Well done, Cara Jones, waiting on bodies. Keep running. Beat her all the way through. A little bit of a shoulder charge. That's fine. Bring it on back. Suckley, well done. Dances through. Pritchard. It's that final third. The monster gets us again. Kim, all the games at the Rock are on a plastic field, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And every time I've seen somebody reach down and grab their knees, I get miffed. But there's not much I can do. I keep just asking for that academy situation to be finalized, be able to get that UEFA pitch in, and put up a spot where you can have a home for both the U18s and the women to go and do their thing. Pritchard on the switch over on the right-hand side here, looking to run all the way through. Suckley coming for support. Nope. Ball cross in, knocked down. McKenzie just not able to get up there in a time. Dickens went to go and try the nick, not able to get to it. And here comes Briton Ferry. Slow off, and well, that one got through. She's way offside. You know what? I've been impressed by there are some quality players on the Briton Ferry team, but I just don't get that number 16 offside there. She just Pritchard, Cara Jones. Little was that nutmeg? Was that right through? Doesn't matter. Oh! Just we got to be better than this. Dickens to Allen. Allen is looking. Gonna bomb up to Lightfoot. Or no, that's not. That's Sharp. Over to Allen. Working down the right side, which is easier to be able to follow. Tried to find Jones. Hits her in the backside, and Briton Ferry comes the other way. And it's always heavy first touches all over the place today. Yeah, John, it's mind-blowing to me too. But to be fair, there's not a lot of academy news that comes out. I mean, they finished a game yesterday 0-0. I don't even think it was out on Twitter. If you put in Wrexham Swindon into Twitter, like, why are we not here in the news or getting a highlight? It's certainly not restricted by copyright. Put it up. I'd pay $1. I'd pay $5 to watch the U18s have a crack or the reserves have a crack. But they don't even put the updates out. And it just seems to be that the academy lives in its own little thing. And I don't know, somebody suggested to me that it's because even though they're athletes, youth are overprotected when it comes to sport over there. But I was like, certainly that can't go to the sports governance sides of things, can it? Swindon, Wrexham up on Twitter. Yeah, nothing. And so the only way to find out that there was a 0-0 draw yesterday was to go to the website and pull it up. And I might have to start making calendars so people at least know when those games are on. No, John, I get it. Jesus. Deflection off the header, and that almost went in. Dell had to be quick, and she ended up rattling herself, having to stretch out for that one unnecessarily. So a corner for Briton Ferry. Briton Ferry looking for the pens, eh? There is no motivation to get that set up. That was hilarious. I don't have an excuse for why it takes so long to get the information out there. Woodwork. Briton Ferry looking for it. Jeepers. Maybe that'll wake us up a little bit. One would hope. A little fire in the belly now because you don't want to end up losing that one. It gets shielded away and then still goes to a corner. And watch the slow, methodical walk for the corner as we wait and let the seconds tick away. We're almost there, halfway. You can do it. Kick the ball to the line up and spin. And here we go. It's like one of those ASMR videos that you watch where put you to sleep. See the ball delivery of the ball fly through the air, envision a header making contact, and there it is. Okay, come on, enough of that. Pritchard, long ball, trying to get it up to Suckley, misses. Going to be a throw-in to Briton Ferry, and on the back foot all of a sudden. A little bit of a push. Pritchard in there, trying to nick it away. Able to do it. Clears away. Long hoof ball down the pitch, and here comes Suckley running for it. Grabs it. Able to get it over to Lightfoot? Nope, not able. Still fighting. Got to call that a little bit of a jersey tug there, no? Come on. Dickens up. McKenzie to clean up. Brings it all back. Sharp. Back to Dell. Dell on the switch over to Allen. Allen's on that forward Andy Cannon-like rush. Only difference being out of position, but confident enough to just run forward and just That touches. We've got a player down, and there's a nice collision, and that's going to be a free kick us. Let's get wakey here. But no, and I've seen nothing in the Wrexham County Borough sites. What's interesting to me is I thought that they were seeking concurrent approval for the new COP that was going up to be ready for Newport, that they were building it simultaneously with a report, but I don't see those documents online. I've been searching every day, hitting the refresh button a couple times during the day to see if there's something out there. So maybe it's not with the county borough that they need to seek approval for a temporary COP, which is interesting to me because I thought that you would need that approval. Maybe they're just not putting it out public, or it's the staff are sleeping on it and it takes a week. I don't know, but it's been slow. Well stepped up there. Dickens be able to punch it forward. Is that the poutine? And I forgot the other, able to make those other emojis. I haven't done it yet. Nice dance around. Cleared through. It's that first third. We just can't get there as Pritchard got a good ball in. Suckley turning, not able to. Somebody find the ball. Jones, Kara off the ball, sits there. Yes. Release. Relief. Ah. I wouldn't say that was the prettiest goal. But a necessary goal, wasn't it? I mean, Jesus. And not the prettiest one. It was kind of a weird one that she really missed this one going to her left. The keeper did right here. Stuffed it off the post, rolls around, and it just scrapes in. So we're going to give that to C. Jones, I guess. I haven't. Are we up threatening again? Whoop. I don't think I put the. I don't think I put it up to add the names on the new one, so we'll have to hold off. Brendan with the extra points. Put up the bog counter. Every time it works, we'll have to create a tally. Wrexham women, Britain, 1-0 goal in the 55th minute. Party in the bog, Brendan. End of the season, we can go back and reflect at all of our moments in time. I'm gonna have to go. I want to see what Kim posted because Kim's got something up that I haven't seen before. Oh, the cup of coffee. Yeah, so the custom emojis don't make the chat. That's frustrating. I haven't found a way to do that. There's so much to do. Every little thing, every little tweak. Put the score up, add a new thing, browser connection, double check it, triple check it, and then bring Brendan in and broken, and I can't use the video stuff anyway. It's from going from no skill to at least some skill has been an exercise. Let's go get another one here. Allen over to Pritchard, over into the box. Could have let that go and would have had an opportunity, had two behind, but I mean, obviously couldn't know that. Yeah, the cup of coffee. So far, I got a number of people in, really just four of us chatting, according to the things. Anthony's jumping in. Good to watch. You don't have to turn the sound off on iFollow, but I appreciate it. You can listen to two at the same time, or I'm happy that people use me for the chat. I'm happy to sit here and have the conversation with you guys. Coffee made. Did you miss anything? Yes, you did, Kim. You can go and make another coffee. You missed a goal, and that was... Oh, it was Kara Jones who got it. Sort of a miss catch. She hammered it into the goalie. The goalie had an opportunity to catch it with her arms. Oh, hold on. Kara Jones looking for a second. Scores! Kara Jones with the second. Nice little beauty right footer. Oh, there was a smile. She came back at the other one with no smile at all. Like, this was straight business the whole time through. Anthony, well done. But that was a good job. So the first goal was not as pretty as that one for Kara. Ended up getting it shot towards the keeper. Keeper got their hands out on it, but not enough to catch it in her breadbasket. Popped it off to the left of her, hit the post and rolled and skipped over top. And that was it. And so now we are up 2-0. Had lots of space. Goalkeeper did a good job coming out to try to take the angle out, but Kara just had the patience and the time to end up picking a spot, picking a corner, putting it to bed. Cardiff City with a penalty, 3-0 over Aberystwyth. So it's really just that New Saints Cardiff Met game that's looking tough. I've always thought that it was just dependent on the team. I've coached, most of my coaching was in softball or fast pitch or softball or whatever you want to call it, the windmill one with baseball. And I coached the boys and I coached the girls. And it changed so much for me, at least in softball, that like one year I'd have girls who got it and who were hungry and who were into it. And the next time it was social and it was no interest and no real capacity to pick up the skills. So, are you from Saskatchewan? I didn't know there was a lot of places that had softball. That was a really good ball in. Played basketball. I coached like little tiny kids when I was a teenager, but is that coaching? You're just going out there with a ball and putting them out there. Louisiana with softball. Fascinating. And we're talking like fast pitch, like grab it, windmill. Not the old man's softball. Guys bitch a lot more. Yeah, that's true. Emotions too, when you're dealing with teenagers. I found the girls to be more level-headed and in most instances than the boys. Interesting. I had no idea that the softball was at the NCAA level down in the southern U.S. I mean, in Saskatchewan, softball is bigger than baseball is. I hated that, to be fair. Long ball in, pulled down, just not able to do anything. I cleared out. Lightfoot. That's not Lightfoot. That's Dickens. Dickens over on the left side in Lightfoot's position, having a mash. Like, I had a friend who went down and played for in your neck of the woods. It's not the University of Georgia, but a Georgia-based school for baseball, and had a full scholarship. Played for the Canadian national team in baseball for a while. And I was always envious that he had the guts and the capacity to take a run at baseball and go get the scholarship stuff. I didn't know that there were softball schollies, because I imagine they're just loaded with Saskatchewan kids, because I mean, that's what we play here. Brendan finally hits the flop counter. It works. It's alive. Anyway, enough softball. 62 minutes in. Oklahoma. See, John knows it too. Everybody, little did I know that softball was still a thing. Huh. Fascinating. Briton Ferry on the attack for the first time through, and is that number 16, 12? The two of them just haven't had a good game. Suckley fighting through. Well done. Bossing her way through, puts it forward to, is that Hughes? No, that's not Hughes. I thought he said Hughes. That's McKenzie. Suckley again with a nice little steal and just an opportunity to save it in, asking the question. Yeah, I like that. Give Lightfoot an opportunity to go and win one. Rosie's not playing. Rosie went out with an injury. So the 2 goals that we've got are both from Kara Jones. So we could get the hat trick, but it's been Kara who's figured it out. It's a little bit shorter than Rosie, but the hair is similar. I'm excited to see how the T20 stuff goes for cricket. Canada making the World Cup of cricket. What? The T20 anyway. And so that's a version of that game that I think that Canadians would appreciate more than the 5-day tests, where it becomes the morning tea and the afternoon tea and all that sort of stuff. Just get out there for a day or half a day and have a crack. It is, Stephen. It's been a slow run and a build up to get there. I was wondering how frustrating the game could possibly be as we sat here and waited. Cricket, the sport of cricket, CRCKET. Go and watch the last over of the T50 World Cup from last year, England and, oh man, who was that against? Probably the best 20 minutes of live sport I've ever watched as far as that action. She was not really 100% certain. She took a bit of a knock. It's her left foot in any event. She went to ground and waited, didn't want treatment to come out, stood up, and then had a laugh and was, because I was saying, like, how tough is she, and able to come up and have a laugh after she's kind of hurt herself and she's still grimacing in pain. And then she went to ground again, grabbing her left leg, like without any other incident, and then got up again. And about a minute and a half later, went to ground again. And so wasn't the best of signs, something to do with her left foot, but it almost looked like it was a shin or something, like that's where she was poking. So, John, I will send you a WhatsApp message after this one and send you the link to the English winning the World Cup, not this year, last year. I don't know if you'll get all of the drama because some of it you kind of have to know the rules, but I played in New Zealand. Well, Kim, not true in a T20 or a T50, right? In a 5-dayer, yeah, there's no excitement. They're just out there knocking the ball down. It does exist. There's a U.S. national cricket team. They finished third, I think, in the qualifiers for the World Cup out of North America. Canada finished first and then went on and won that one, so they've earned their spot into the T20s. It's not. There are some amazing plays. There's some cool things that happen. I will, John. I will absolutely send that for you. And a couple of other highlights. That was a nice little play forward. Is she getting to get another one? Ooh, she almost did. Kara was right there with the cheeky little chip trying to get it over top as Pritchard banging it around and trying to hold on to it, and it doesn't. And here comes Briton Ferry the other way, and well done by Allen knocking it down, saying no thank you. Sorry, that one snuck up on me. I don't see why post over you couldn't run a commercial or two. It wouldn't be as quick as far as running, like, 15 minutes of play and then like here come 4 or 5 commercials in a row during a media break or a media timeout. I don't know. I have a lot of time for cricket. One of my personal favorite. Oh, that was a really good ball and a nice little back heel flick by Lightfoot flying through the air to be able to get that. That would have been a glorious goal if she would have got that. Watch this one. Pritchard, here comes the cross in by Suckley, and watch Lightfoot come in. Ninja through the air, right-footed heel. That would have been awesome. Morning, Thomas. You've missed a exceptionally boring first half and 2 goals by Kara Jones in the news that Hughes looks maybe that she's hurt. And of course, we've got W&G's updated out-of-town scoreboard up here. Feel free for anybody to give their thoughts, suggestions, updates, as there's little improvements going to be happening in this space over time. I actually took 2 wickets in my very first over bowling in New Zealand. We were getting hammered. We were going to lose. It was destined to be over, just playing out the string. And they said, well, put the Canadian in. We can't do any worse than we're already doing. And so I went in both on the first ball and the fourth ball. 2 different players just got the bat out ahead of what they thought must have been a pace ball with pace, and it wasn't. Got the bat out and popped it up in the air, and we took 2 overs. Still lost, but I was impressed. Darts. Yeah, see, that's what the only fascinating thing to me about darts is the crowd. I don't know. Curling, darts, but curling involves some physical aspect to it, right? It involves the sweeping and the strategy and the placement and the teamwork. Darts is just throwing things. It's like watching javelin. I mean, I'll do it if it's part of the heptathlon or the decathlon, but I'm not really searching for a decathlon thing. Hey, using darts to drink, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Cornhole is big now. Yeah, that won't go big just because somebody's got to change the name of it. You can't have the national cornhole competitions featured by Scotty's tissue paper. '70th minute coming up. Still got 20 to go. This has been a slow game, even with this is way more action in the second half. Would like to see Kara get her hat trick. Dance, everybody. Get greedy, Ms. Jones, in behind Pritchard, but able to get saved by Suckleaf. I don't know where that was going to go. Oh, Pritchard on the overlap. Well done. Yes, Kim. For the purposes of spectator sports and the rowdiness in a pub hall and the singing and the chanting, that I'm all for that for darts. As to the thrill of seeing a guy with the pink striped tie-dyed head walk up and throw the darts, I don't get it. Long corner was there, knocked down, able to spin it back heel out to, that's a handball, wasn't it? Both called, but Mackenzie had an opportunity there, not able to connect, and it's going to go all the way out to Davis, who's going to look to serve it back in off. Nope. Kickball or softball. Yes. The reason to drink beer in the outfield, right? And as I drink my Carolans, I won't pretend that I'm an athlete anymore, or ever was. Anymore. Not offside. Well-timed run. Back heel, save, bring it back to Dell, give her a touch. Yes, well, I ended up in church basements for the last 23 plus years. Lipstick on the other side of the cup. Oh, it is so. I guess I grabbed my wife's cup. Whoops. It was up in the clean cups, so I didn't even check the back end of it. Just dumped in some Carolans. Yes, Brendan, that's beach volleyball. I don't get pickleball. Sorry, my mom's into it. I don't get it. But beach volleyball or grass, but not 2-on-2, 3-on-3 at the co-ed level. You get some fun stuff going there. AA meetings. I get it. I blame darts too. 23 years in church basements. I only know people who go after court order, not me. not me. Oswestry. Just today. That's the one thing, W&G, that I knew about the New Saints. And that their owner is a bit of a knobhead. Not to the level of Accrington Stanley's. Oh, Briton Ferry with an opportunity here. It's not that their forwards have had any threat, really. It's just looking to bring people forward. That was well done. That was well done for them. Nice little interplay, putting it through, cleared out, relatively straightforward. I will fully admit that in my mid-20s, I ended up waking up after having another bruised face from an incident while out socializing and went, why am I doing this? And that was enough, fortunately, for me to be able to put that one to bed. Yes, it's Thomas. It is the highest league for. Well, this isn't the Briton Ferry's not in this league. This is a trophy game, but the league that Wrexham is in is the highest league for women's football in Wales. It is ranked 41st in Europe. So there's some improvements that have to happen. And it's just a byproduct that if you're talented enough, you end up going and bouncing over to England. So there's got to be some work that has to be done. And they've just gone semi-pro. And there is European competitions. Wales being 41st gets one team. And they've got to go, if memory serves me, they've got to get all the way to the 16th best league in Europe in order to get that second spot. How they allocate it, whether it be through the league or through the Welsh Trophy or otherwise, who knows? But it went for the hat trick and off to the left. Would have been something to see. I have other vices. Oh, wow. Yawn. I have other vices, but it's not the booze. Really? I tried to double check that, and I didn't find that was true, at least at present. I'm going to have to look up who wins the Adran Premier League? Yes. Who wins the actual league? They move on to the first qualifying round for the Champions League. Yes. That's their shot in Europe. W&G has it right. It is, Anthony, and you know, Mia's broadcasting, and I don't know if that's injury or I don't know if that's because the opportunity has sailed past her. But that sort of stuff happens. Yeah. But it's like that with any team, isn't it? Even when you're a kid, new player moves into town, kid comes over. Sometimes there's a bit of a recruitment, not really a recruitment sort of thing, and it's all part of that competitive pathway, that competitive stream. But going semi-pro, I'm envious. I mean, we're in Canada, we're spoiled in a sense that we rely on the US. They pay all the money for the sports governance, and then we just supply some players. But you look at, we finally have a domestic second tier for the men. Just waiting for one for the women to get fired up. And it's sad that Christine Sinclair, we've had one of the greatest footballers to ever play the game. Men, women, don't care. She's scored more international goals than anybody. She played in a time where there wasn't a lot of attention to the game for the women's game, and she bootstrapped that thing up, and she's been a superpower. She hasn't seen the game develop in Canada to have its own domestic league. She plays in Portland. And she will one more season. I think she's retired internationally, but she'll be in Portland for one more year. Wow. Straight little Nick right off the bench. And whoa, got really a little bit too excited, didn't you, Ms. Spearing? But that was impressive. It kind of came out of nowhere and nicked it and then just ran forward. And I think she had more time. Well, you got twitchy there. There she is again. She's everywhere. Comes on, and in 30 seconds, she has a shot on goal in her first 3 touches of the game. Where has she been, coach? Oh, there you go. Mia's got a knock. That's good to hear because I thought she had the quality to stay in too, so that's why I thought it was weird that she was out. But I'm glad it's not just a transition, but it's just taking the opportunity while dealing with an injury to fill in, learn some stuff. As New Saints go up 2-1, W&G, thanks for that. Cardiff City all over Aberystwyth and Swansea in control. So not much is going to change on the table. Still a 3-horse race with us kind of on the outside looking in with Swansea and Cardiff City. We're going to have to pull off something here if in the league. And if we're able to win this one, that's an extra game with Cardiff City because we'll have them in the draw. I can't remember if that's a home game or an away game. You can find details of this one. 2023-24 Adran Trophy is what you're searching. Cardiff City, and we'll have it at home. They'll travel to us. So we've already won the draw, and that'll be January 7. So you can ignore the Barrytown, assuming that this one ends here. Thanks, Swifty. Yep, it's a home game. You're at 75 on the counter. I don't know what that means. Spearing's been looking impressive now. I just don't know if it's just fortunate work, but I guess it's hard work can derive benefits, and that's why you work hard, right? 76 minutes. Yeah, you should be able to bump it up. I'd like, I put it here so that everybody can kind of try to match if they wish. That way we don't get any spoilage and all that sort of stuff. But we're at the 81st minute. And maybe you want to be able to watch Spearing come in and sort of hold it down. I've well done. And I'm curious to see when it comes to the Adran Premier League at what point in time, because you can tell how they have it set up. It's to insulate the lower teams from getting absolutely smashed, right? So you have them 8 teams who play each other, and then you go top and bottom. If you weren't so worried about it, you just keep having them have a crack. Nice little touch, hat trick opportunity here. Oh, just missed. Just a lot of those bad touches there that are happening all game long. I don't know. I thought it was Pontypridd, who hasn't even won a game so far. Didn't win the one between them, and has the really bad goals for and the goals against. So I have that correct. I mean, and there have been a couple of games that I've missed. I haven't seen all of them. So Going to the league table here. Pontypridd 0-8, Barrytown 2 wins, 6 losses. Well, the goals for and against aren't that bad. But with having 2 wins, one direct against the team that's chasing you, and then an extra one as well, I can't see. But I mean, you've got. I think the biggest surprise for me is Cardiff Met, six-time champion, not in it this year. 2-2-4. They're with the loss to the New Saints. They're going to be 8 points out from the last spot with only 6 games left to play. It's going to be tough for Cardiff Met to be able to make that up. Aberystwyth's got to be a little bit concerned too, because with their loss today, they're going to be 5 points out of moving up. And depending on... And so the New Saints will still stay in 4th on goal differential, and obviously we'll have a game in hand, but there will be a tie for 3rd and 4th, as Swansea City will jump us in the table with their win, moving on up. Anybody outside of the normal people, John, and I'm okay with. But it's interesting to see. I'm looking forward to finish that thought about Swirly about talking about Cardiff and the improvement of the teams. I'm interested to see in like 2 to 5 years if you're able to put the league up to 10 or maybe even 12, right? Similar to this, and then hopefully in another decade you don't have to worry about breaking it all down. I mean, I say that, but it's still positive. With the women's hockey as a perfect example is, just 1 second. The women's hockey being a perfect example, when they go to the World Hockey Championship, they take the Canadian team, the U.S. team, and a couple of others. It can be Sweden, it can be Czechia, it can be Russia, and they put them into the top division while they have. So within the top division, they have 2 groups that play each other, one that has the top 4 teams and one that has the bottom 4 teams. And then when they meet in the playoffs, the first and second and the bottom play the 3rd and 4th in the top to be able to move forward, and then reseed them going forward. And it's similar to this in that they're just not to the same caliber, and there seems to be a large divide between teams. Long shot. Looking forward. Can't get it. I thought she was in there, so it was an interesting opportunity from that far out. Fortuitous. But I'm interested to see how the game grows, and I think Wrexham's doing it right, or not Wrexham, Wales specifically is doing it right by having a domestic competition and making sure that its girls get a chance to get out there and have a crack and build the product. I wish Canada did the same thing, but for whatever reason, we're freaking allergic to it, and we just rely on the big brothers. And I meant that in the familiar sense, not in the pejorative, insulting sense. 4-1 Saints up. Wow. A couple late ones there. Cardiff Met in trouble. I mean, not in trouble expecting relegation. Just a lot of whacking the ball around as things wind down. Spearings looks pretty impressive, hasn't she? Quick there with a nice little spin with the ball at her feet. Well, it wasn't Spearing. He said Spearing, but Spearing couldn't have been, or is that Dickens now back here? Is that a 16 out of 10? Yeah. Been impressive. I've got a little one who's up. 11th ranked in the world, but Olympic gold medalists. I think they've been jobbed on their rankings because they've in World Cups until the last one they went silver, or bronze, silver. No, bronze, silver, and then added a gold. Not enough love for how good they are or were. Is that spearing again? Oh, it was right there, skipping across the face of goal to be able to go and add another one. Marsh through, chipped away. Funny little spin on the ball. Could have go for a corner. And then out and off of Spearing's foot and out. What were you cleaning? And it'll just be frustrating. Our soccer football organization is just an absolute travesty right now. And pretty much nationwide as they're doing all the investigations into all of the bad things that can happen. Funding issues, and then you've had the fair pay demands and the teams protest away from wanting to get more of the money from the national clubs. Long. Holy moly. Placed that. You couldn't have walked up and thrown it from 3 feet away and put that one in better than that one was. Holy moly. Who took that? Was that Dickens? Pritchard? Dickens, watch this. Right footer and plop. Forget about it. Like, not a thing anyone could have done on that one. Needed this. Yeah, needed the second half performance. So probably won't stay on for very much after the. I didn't see what the extra minutes were. The extra time is, but ran out of gas. I don't even think it was gas. I think we just couldn't finish around the final third, and then we finally decided to find a little bit of form. And nice. I love that he got the twang on that one as it went in. 4-0. So, yeah, I'm not going to stay too much longer on after this one as we watch Suckley's work here. Nice little ball in. Suckley gets it, has a look, and that top right corner getting burnt out. And they should put that net there and have that sound effect happen whenever the ball hits the twine. Just that sounded great. But we'll be back Saturday, Newport County. Got to come up with a video for that one. We'll try and do some prettification of this thing. WG, it sounds like it worked all right for you, and you never noticed a difference as far as keeping the score, and you're happy with how it looks. John, I will send you that link. Yes, Wrexham is at 4-0. Did you go to the bathroom? Did you hit the bog? So it was Kara Jones with 2. Suckley got the last one, and it was Davies with the beautiful set piece right footer. So, Brandon, thank you for joining. I got to find out how to send that membership to you, and I've got 2 broken pieces here. Everything's going to get tidied up and fixed up so that when the season is over, it'll all be perfectly set up, and then I'll decide I want to improve or something. So Christmas is coming. The 23rd should be a fun one. Got the Wrexham game in the morning with Newport, and then I'm off to a hockey game with my dad. So the difference between going to sporting events here. So sitting in the 5th row in the corner, and I'm paying after taxes and everything $180. So what are we talking about? 120 quid, 110 quid. So, but it'll be worth it. It'll be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to that one. Thank you so much for you guys joining. It was a good one. It was a fun one, even though that first half was absolutely dreadful as far as entertainment went. The girls picked it up at the end, and Kara Jones leading the way. We'll hope that Rosie's fine. I'm sure Twitter will have that information out there. The Mudbugs, Shreveport Mudbugs. Is that CHL? SPHL? Yeah, it's nuts with hockey games. The most expensive one I've ever paid was Game 5, playoff semifinal, San Jose Sharks versus the Vancouver Canucks, and I paid $500 to sit at the very, very, very top, like the last row of the CHL or of the stadium. The NAHL. Okay, I get it. $10, I will take it. That's the joy. Kamloops Blazers. I did that for the Western Hockey League stuff for years, but now I've got 2 teams around me, and I've got lots of teams around me. I mean, I could go and watch junior hockey if I wanted to. There's lots, but we have the Tier 1 team in Vancouver, the Tier 2 team in Abbotsford, and then you've got the junior team in Langley. And then you've got a whole bunch of junior B teams and junior A teams around. So it's all over the place. We're talking too much hockey when we're supposed to be talking football, the nature of the game. So we're not back then for the women until January 7, not January 14, January 7, Cardiff City. And then we've got the one with Barrytown on the 14th. And we've got a game that we do have to make up with Pontypridd at some point in time. Enjoy your Sunday. I will see you guys around as I try to tidy things up, and I will talk to you later. Have yourselves a wonderful one. It was great seeing you on another Sunday. Take care.